You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I want my picks back. I want David Putnam.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
I want all my picks back, and I want David Putnam just because I feel like it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already?
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig live here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. Of course, Hanging with Hennig is streaming, as always, on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios at Josh Hennig. Joining me right now, he is going to be in Atlantic City, and he is the main event of PFL Atlantic City, the return of PFL MMA to Atlantic City, Friday, August 1st. And inside the historic Boardwalk Hall is my guest right now, Thad Jean, the Silverback, joining me here on 97.3 ESPN. Thad, first of all, congratulations on getting to the finals. How are you feeling as the big day approaches?
Man, thank you for having me on. And yeah, I'm super excited. I don't know if you knew this, but from the beginning, I wasn't supposed to be in the tournament in the first place. I got into the tournament by the grace of God, and look at me now. We're in the finals, main event. And like you said, it's such a historic building in New Jersey, Atlantic City. I'm so excited to put on a show for everybody.
You will be in the welterweight finals taking on Logan Storley. But we want to tell the folks about you, Thad, because you are a rising star in MMA. And, you are somebody who you have risen from basically just being on the Florida circuit to then landing, as you mentioned, as an alternate for the PFL MMA season. And then you get your opportunity in the semifinals against Josh Jackson, and then boom, you get the win. You're on to the finals. What has this ride over the last few years been like? Because this rapid ascent that you have been on has been incredible.
You know what? I honestly, I don't know if it's hit me yet, because it's like I've already felt like I've been at the top. But, there probably might be a moment once I win this tournament where it's like, damn, oh my gosh. I go look back at everything and I'm just like, wow, look at the journey I've been on. But honestly, so far, it's been like I've already said since the beginning, or since I started fighting, man, I'm going to be the best in the world. And everything that has happened so far is just the pieces falling into place, honestly, on my part. I'm just ready to show everybody else that I am truly the best, and I want them to see it the way I see it. And there's no doubt in my mind I will come August 1st.
When you think about, because the pieces coming together, I think one of the things that we always talk about, there's that saying where, hard work beats talent. Every talent doesn't work hard, right? And I feel like, based on at least what I've seen of social media, and obviously, social media, it is what it is, but, you look like a guy who puts in work. You don't look like a guy who just shows up, does a little, light pad work and then leaves. Like, you look like the kind of dude who says, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to put in the work for it. Is that right?
Exactly that. I'm gonna put my heart and soul into everything that I do, and fighting is the thing that I love. And just like you said, when talent fails to hard work beats talent. And I'm gonna say I'm both talented and hardworking, so I have both the major skills to get me to the top level. And I won't make sure that someone who is talented beats me, or just someone who's just hardworking beats me. I'm gonna make sure that each time I go into the cage, there's no doubt in my mind that the work that I put outside the cage will show up and show out once I walk into that cage.
We're talking with Thad Jean. Of course, he will be fighting for the big PFL Championship for the welterweight finals on August 1st. PFL in Atlantic City at Boardwalk Hall. Thad, you talked about, the hard work. How much is your family? Because it seems like every time I've seen you, you're mentioning your family, you're mentioning your faith, talking about the everything that your family instilled in you. Talk about how your family and your background really put you in a position to be successful.
You know what? I think that it's playing a major role into my life, that my parents put God as my foundation. And it's as a person of faith, as like I am, God, Jesus Christ as my foundation is the most firm foundation, and that there's nothing that can rock me. There's a lot of outside noise. There's a lot of he say, she say, there's a lot of doubt that you can get from the outside noise that can play a huge part in a person's downfall. But because of, me being 10-0, people wanting to see me win, but there's also people that want to see you lose. There's going to be pressure being there. But because of the love that I get from my family, just the support system outside of my family, the faith that I have in Christ, the hard work, it just instills with me that I am where I'm supposed to be, and that I can ignore the outside noise and do what I have to do. I'm in the place that I need to be, and I need to keep showing up the way I have been.
Now, you mentioned about your faith. I would be remiss if I didn't point that out, because, you mentioned in your profile Isaiah 41:13. And that's something I can't ignore, man, because of the fact that verse, for those who don't know, the verse says, fear not, that God will help you. So it really sounds like this is not just a verse like this is some cute thing you put on your profile, right? You ain't being some like trendy, hey, I got a Bible verse. Like, this sounds like you're someone who says, no, I genuinely believe that I have nothing to fear because God is with me.
No, and as someone if you're like me and you believe the Bible is true word for word from the beginning to the end, that there is no contradiction, that there is no lie, that there is nothing. When you read things like this and you say you have faith, how can you go back on something like? And let me just go a bit more into that verse. It's Isaiah, like you said, Isaiah 41. Well, that's in my bio, and I really, really, really look at that just to help me through everything throughout life. It's Isaiah 41, verse 13. It says, "For I am the Lord your God who takes a hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you." If you are truly a person of faith and you truly believe in the Bible and you really look at this verse and there's no way you cannot walk forward knowing that the biggest helper there's that no one can be. I don't know how to explain it, but there's no way you can be going into the future with doubt, with fear, with anything like this if you truly believe God, the creator of the universe, is at your side, who's helping you, who's guiding you by your hand, like your father, your mother would crossing the street. There's no way I can do anything but just fearless and ready to go at everything.
Thad, I want to ask you, because you are very emphatic about your faith. Do you get sometimes that there are people who don't have your faith or who don't have their commitment and their faith in God? Do you sometimes feel like you get pushback or maybe a little bit of eye rolls or a little bit of bad attitude toward you about that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's always those people who say, oh yeah, I don't care. Yeah, here we go about this Jesus thing again. Well, then I can't help you, brother. I can't help you. Oh, here we go here we go with Jesus. Oh, here we go again. Oh, I can't help you. I'm looking. You go on the GPS app to bring you to a location you've never been to before. I go to the Bible to bring me through a situation I've never been before. Like, your GPS is, it's all of our GPS, but your GPS may be on your phone. My GPS is in the Bible. And that's the only way I can help you. And if you don't want to hear that, God bless you. I will pray for you. But hey, that's just the way it goes. And I'm not mad. There's the road that leads to heaven is narrow. So of course I know that there's going to be people who don't want to hear it. But hey, all right, whatever. Teach their own.
I love the energy. Thad Jean joining us. Of course, he is undefeated welterweight fighter, PFL Atlantic City, Friday, August 1st. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Whenever I talk to fighters, I got to know about nicknames. I'm always fascinated about the background of nicknames. So talk to me about how you got the nickname the Silverback.
Man, honestly, it was crazy the way it happened. It happened through a lucid dream that I had because, of course, you're a fighter, and as an amateur, I was like, what is my nickname? I don't want to just be Thad Jean. I want to hear Thad Jean. I was like, who do I want to be? And growing up, I've always watched Kobe Bryant, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be Black Mamba. And there was a person within my gym who also had the nickname Black Mamba, and I was like, oh, no, I definitely don't want to be like him. Just not somebody I really looked up to. And I was like, you know what, I got to, let me pray about it. Again, I'm always going back to God when it comes to something that's going to follow me throughout my career, my life. So I was like, let me pray about it. I kid you not, like a couple days later, 2-3 days later, I get this lucid dream, and I don't get lucid dreams like that. But I realize, oh man, I'm in a dream, and I'm walking down this road, and on my right and left side, there's a albino gorilla, silverback, and then there's your regular black silverback. And we're walking down this road, and I just get filled with so much power, and I'm like, oh, I'm the silverback. This is my this is me, my clan. This is me. I'm the silverback, and it embodies who I am. It's in the cage, you know, and I mean, it really has been a great journey with that name, the silverback, the nickname.
See, that's another criticism you're going to get. I'm just letting you know. People don't usually give themselves nicknames, right? So, like, yeah, you might have been shown your nickname, but I'm letting you know there are some people going to roll their eyes, be like, oh, now this guy gave himself a nickname, you know?
Yeah, again, I cannot care less of what people who are on the outside looking in, who, you know, for lack of better words, wish they were doing something like me, but can't motivate themselves. Someone who is doing something like me and who are pushing, they can relate. They won't ever criticize because they want to get to that level, or they are at that level, or they're encouraging you to get to the level that they're at. But someone who is just outside looking in, just wishing, or just talking, those couch potatoes are going to talk all the time, and I couldn't care less of what they say at all. So
love it.
It means nothing to me.
Thad, a couple more before I let you go. I really appreciate you jumping on with me today. Let's get the audience to know. You mentioned you loved Kobe Bryant. So were you growing up a basketball fan? Like, talk about the Kobe Bryant fandom.
Okay, so I would say the only reason I love Kobe Bryant is because of my older brother. And there's this one scene when he's on the outside where it's a really iconic scene, that video that everybody knows once I describe it, when he's just looking, the ball is about to be rebounded, and I forget who it is, but he like fakes the ball at Kobe Bryant's face, and he just keeps his poker face as if nothing ever, he's like completely unfazed, and this ball just bounded in, and he's just on it. And that moment right there made me really like who Kobe Bryant was. But if I was anything growing up, my favorite person to watch was Walter Payton. Well, not really. Walter Payton highlights, because I really never really got to watch him play. But Walter Payton highlights, who played for Chicago Bears, the running back.
Yeah. So really quick, so Walter Payton. First of all, Walter Payton was well before your time. No offense, my man. You're young.
Yeah, no. I mean, my emails, even my emails have 34 in them. Like I have 34 everywhere when I can.
But still, I mean, that's an interesting example, because, you know, Walter was a guy who, he didn't do a lot of talking. He didn't do a lot of, you know, look at me. But when he ran you over. And I feel like that's kind of translating your fighting style. You run people over in that smart cage, right?
Exactly. Oh, man. Walter Payton, just getting that, he did whatever it took to get to that end zone. And that's what it is, man. You got to grind it out. You got to really dig deep down, and that's what he did. He got low. And not with small defenders. The defenders back then were huge, juiced up, I feel like, ready to take your head off. I don't care if I hurt my body. I want to hurt you more type of defenders comparison to the ones right now. I mean, we got super athletes now, but, you know, there's a lot of rules and regulations that keep them from being like the athletes and the defensive players back then and hitting you as hard as they used to do. But, I mean, Walter Payton was running through these units just one after the other and after the other and after the other to get to the end zone. And that's how I feel like I should be in the cage, is that whoever's in front of me, I'm going to run through you over and over and over. I'm going to keep punching you in the face over and over and over again until you don't want to get back up.
Thad, before I let you go, I got to ask you, when Thad Jean is not training, when Thad Jean is not fighting, what is Thad Jean doing?
I'm either playing pickleball, watching anime, or playing golf and just raging the whole time.
You realize how, like, all over the place that sounds, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I'm a fighter, and I play golf, and I play pickleball, and I watch anime. Like, you realize how unique that is.
I love trying to do everything, man. I whatever there is, and it's a cool passion time. I just love trying to play my hand in it. You know, I don't want to be doing so much high impact things, and I'm already doing one of the most highest impact sport out there. So I love, you know, just dabbling in other things that could take away time, but it's also fun and just competitive as well.
Good stuff. Well, Thad, I appreciate you calling in again. Friday, August 1st is coming up. Boardwalk Hall, Atlantic City. Tickets on sale now, Ticketmaster.com. You want to see the undefeated rising MMA star Thad Jean, the silverback, in action in person. Again, Friday, August 1st. PFL's return to Atlantic City. Thad, appreciate you jumping on. Stay blessed, my man. Keep up the hard work, and we look forward to seeing you in action on August 1st.
Thank you so much for having me on. Again, you don't want to miss out. August 1st in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm going to go in. I'm going to dominate, and I'm coming home with that belt. Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you for New Jersey for having me show out there.